Let's give some nice background to the PCAOB, SEC, Sarbanes-Oxley, all of these wonderful organizations and acts and federal regulations to give some background to what we're going to see here throughout this whole lesson. First off, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, also known as the SEC. It's an independent agency of the federal government created in the aftermath of the Wall Street crash of 1929. Some of you may be familiar with it as they're kind of the regulators of the stock market. And, well, why are they? Well, securities are stocks. Securities can be debt, and exchanging those securities. That is what the SEC does. They enforce the law against market manipulation. And how does that play a role with what we're doing? Well, we audit financial statements for these publicly traded companies, and the stock of those companies is, those are securities. Next up, we have the PCAOB, kind of, in a way, the public version of the AICPA, definitely different and have their own places, and a lot of times we have to follow both rules if we're doing public companies, right? But the PCAOB, the Public Company Accounting Oversight Board, it's a non-profit corporation created by the Sarbanes-Oxley Act, which we'll see on the next slide, to oversee the audits of public companies and other issuers in order to protect the interests of investors, right? No fraud, trying to prevent that fraud happening, and further the public interest in the preparation of informative, accurate, and independent audit reports. The extra regulation, and I'll talk about kind of the history of why that's important. Not that you'll need to answer questions on the history, but it just gives some nice background. You'll also see it on BEC, so kind of killing two birds with one stone. Nice to give a background there. The PCAOB also oversees the audits of broker-dealers, including compliance reports, which we'll see in the compliance reporting lesson, filed pursuant to federal security law, promote investor protection, right? That's the whole purpose of what we're doing here. We're auditing the financial statements so that the users of the statements, which generally will be investors and creditors, are seeing what actually happened and they're being protected. All PCAOB rules and standards must be approved by the SEC. Again, just some nice background. CPA firms must register with the PCAOB before participating in audits of clients registered with the SEC. And lastly, a broker-dealer, that's a person or a firm in the business of buying and selling securities for its own account or on behalf of its customers. Kind of like a used car salesperson, but for securities. So a little more regulation there. Hey there! Are you ready to not only pass your CPA exams, but truly understand and enjoy the material while studying? I know it seems impossible, right? Especially to enjoy the material? We'll do it together. Tap into the power of CPA.examprep.ai, where we've got personalized quizzes, multiple choice questions, memorization guides, flashcards, simulations, all tailored to your learning. Our adaptive study planning puts you on the fastest path to success and lifts you back up if you fall behind. Avoid wasting your precious time and money attempting an exam with a low chance of passing, because who wants that? We want to get you through this process as quick as possible. Our exam readiness prediction lets you walk in with confidence, knowing that you're prepared for success on exam day. Thankfully, there's no payment method needed to get started, so why don't you come join us? Visit cpa.examprep.ai and let's achieve your exam success together.